You just had a great call with clients. They loved it. And now all that value is just gone. Here's how you can take all of that content that you just created on a coaching call or client call live, turn it into 30 days worth of content or even more using a free tool. So the tool is called NotebookLM. And basically what we're going to do is start a new notebook. You can get this at notebooklm.google.com. We're going to create a new notebook. And I've got the transcript already downloaded from that call. So I'm just going to choose the file to upload. Okay. It's going to take a second to process. This is just as a TXT file. You could do it as a PDF. It really doesn't matter. So once it's done, what we're going to do is give a few different prompts. So basically, I'm going to show you how you can use this to create email ideas, to create story ideas, to turn those into infographics, to turn those into reels. And you could do lots of other kind of content as well. Sometimes it takes a minute. And we'll just refresh. Okay, so we've got our thing. So now what we're going to do is go over here. I've got okay. So first of all, if you've never used Google Notebook LM before, this works just like a chat. You're actually using Gemini in the background. So you can start chatting with this, asking questions. You can see over here, there's lots of different things you can do. We're not going to get into that right now. So basically, I'm just going to start with a prompt. And all these prompts I'm going to give below in the chat or in the description. So we're going to start here. Basically, this is going to ask it to give us email ideas, 5 email ideas. I've indicated who my audience is. And in this case, I've just said whatever topic is most relevant based on my audience interest. But if you have a specific topic you want to focus on, you could specify that in the prompt. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to get a whole bunch of ideas. I said 5, I could ask for 10, depending on how much I thought was actually in the video. Okay, so it's giving me basically taking my ideas from the transcript and it's now turning them into something that I could send as an email. So it gives me the subject line, it gives me an angle, gives me a client problem. So from here, I could do a couple of things. I could just say, okay, great. That gives me the core of the idea. I remember what I said. And I go now and I, open Word or open my email provider and I start typing it out myself. I could say, I could ask Gemini here to write it for me. So I could just say, go ahead and write email 1 for me, use my ideas and voice from the transcript, right? And so it'll give me a draft of an email. And I hardly ever recommend just taking a draft and just pasting it in and sending it off, right? You got to read it, make sure that it's relevant, that it has your voice, your words, that didn't make anything up. But generally, because Google Notebook LM is designed to only look at the sources here. So it's going to pull pretty clearly just from that source. If we only have one, if we have multiple sources, it might pull from other resources, but I just put in one transcript. So it should be pretty good. I'm not going to read through the email here, but you can see here how it wrote out a full email. I could take that over to, again, my Word or Google Docs or whatever and edit it myself. I could take it to Claude, say, hey, Claude, clean this up, make it more compelling, however I want to do it. But now I have an email, just a few seconds. Again, taking something that I already created, the content from the coaching call, and now I'm just transforming it into something else. So let's say that I also want to get like more story-based ideas, right? So I have another prompt here. Oops, I'm going to go over, use this one here because I already have bits of it put in. All right, and so now I'm going to say, okay, what were the stories that might resonate with people that were in this call, right? So it's going to, again, pull out based on this prompt, something that had a kind of a before and after so that we could build a story out of it. So the story, the math of 5K and before, so talks about the person who's in the call, Lorraine, how she wants 5K a month while selling a $27 sewing guide. And then what her realization was that I helped her achieve in that call, that, hey, at that price point, she's got to get, so many views a month. And how could she think about her goal differently, right? So another one was the idea of a freelancer versus a business owner. So Darnell, the barber, he's struggling to grow his mobile barbering business. And so again, like what was the realization that he had, the before and after? So now that I have these, what I can do is, again, I could say, hey, let's build an email out of that. Let's build a story. I actually have a prompt here. Over here, we're going to go and we're going to say, let's say we're going to take this one about the freelancer versus business owner. I'm going to grab this. So I'm going to paste that in here, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get my prompt about the Reels or the TikToks. So I've got this story here that I want, and I'm going to paste in this prompt. And again, I've already indicated a little bit about my audience here. So in the templates that you can see in the doc I'll share, you would want to incorporate your own audience there. So now we're going to click to enter. So it's going to think about it. And basically what it's going to do now is it's going to come up with TikTok or Reel ideas based on that story. So here it goes, an identity shift. It gives me a hook. Are you a business owner? Or are you just a freelancer with a really busy schedule? It gives me even a format. Another one, the Sunday trap. You will never scale your business if your revenue is capped by your own hands. And we can see here it gives the story, where he was at, what I asked him, and then even some visual notes here. If you feel like you're in a rut and your business isn't growing, you might be the bottleneck, right? So different perspectives. So I could take one of these and I could say, okay, let's say that I really like number 5. So I could say, okay, number 5 is good. Write a full script for me. So it's going to take it back. And again, now it's giving me a script. It's giving it me with timestamps, gives me the full script here, some visual notes, etc. So again, I could take this, I could go edit it myself. I could pop it into another tool that I think will work a little bit better for copy, like Claude. I typically use Claude for things related to copy, but it gives me the core idea with my story, with my voice, with my example. And now I can go use that and create a reel out of it. But I have now a basic script, and I have 5 other ideas here that I could do. So again, 1 coaching call. I've seen that I've got at least 5 email ideas. I could ask it for more. I've got 3 stories that come out of it that I could, again, turn into emails. All of those I could turn into reels or scripts. I could use a similar prompt. I could make them, give me LinkedIn post ideas out of this. Give me Substack note ideas, whatever it is that wherever you create content, you can just adapt the prompts that I'm giving you and now turn all of those basic ideas from 1 call into multiple pieces of content. Another thing you can do then with these is take the basic idea, right, the insight or the story, and turn it into an infographic, a visual representation. So I've played around a little bit with it to try to get it to create a prompt for creating the infographic. So rather than jumping right into creating the infographic, I actually wanted to create a prompt first. And the reason for that is sometimes if you just jump right into creating the infographic, it pulls in lots of stuff and maybe it's not exactly what you would like. This gives you a chance to look and to say like, okay, is the actual content of the infographic good, or should I change something about it before I create the infographic? So let's say now I look at it, it's great, good. Now what I can do is I could go to Gemini outside of here and create the prompt, or I could do it right here. But first I'm going to click the pencil icon, and I'm going to paste in my prompt, and I'm going to choose, do I want it as landscape? Do I want a portrait? So maybe I want to share it on social media. I want to make it an Instagram post out of it. So I'm going to do a portrait or square. How do I want the detail? Concise, standard, or detailed? I'm going to choose standard, and then I'm going to click generate. And it might take a minute to do this. So we're going to go check something else, because the other thing that you can do here is you can take, again, the same idea, and you can actually create video overviews from it. So video overviews are here. They're really cool. Since it does take a while for this to get created, I did it in a separate chat. So what I had done here is I had asked it to create a video based on this idea of the math behind your goals. So if I click here, I can see the prompt that I gave it. So all I had done was I just took the email idea that I had gotten and I posted it in here, and I just said, to create the video. I think I chose, when you choose the video, if you click here, you can choose to make it an explainer or brief. So I chose brief, and I chose whiteboard style. You can see here that there's a few different styles that you can choose from, as well as the language. So when I did that, this is what I came out with. Give me a 2-minute video.
A lot of us have a money goal, right? But we'll get there. Well, hope isn't a strategy. So today, let's break down the actual math. So let's look at a real world example.
Okay. So I created a full video just out of that idea, right? Now, again, I can take this, I could share it, I could download it and get the transcript of this. use it to make it my own voice or however I want to do it. But it's really an amazing thing that I can just in a few minutes, right? This video is less than 15 minutes and I've already created so many pieces of content that I can share out of one call. Let's go back and see if our infographic got created. Okay, so I've got my infographic. Let's see what it looks like. Hope is not a strategy, the math of the 5K goal. So the problem, so it shows like how many YouTube videos views I would need to be able to get this many sales, and then how that changes if I change my math, right? So that was, again, something I talked about in that coaching call. So now I have this infographic. I could reprompt it. I could take it over to Gemini, have it make changes, change the colors, add my branding. There's a little NotebookLM logo down here. I might want to edit that out. So whatever I want, but now I could do that again for each of those email ideas, each of those story ideas. I could create infographics, can create reels, I could create LinkedIn posts, I can create emails. So I take the thing that I've already done and I turn it into something that's reusable and leveraging the fact that it was me naturally speaking, naturally helping clients with the problems that they have in the real world to then create content. So instead of starting from scratch or staring at the blank screen or wondering, what do I share? I just reuse something that I've already done. So this is, to me, one of the most powerful ways to use AI in general, but specifically Google Notebook LM. So again, I put all these prompts in the description below. So if you want to try them out yourself, you can go down there and grab them from that doc. And if you want to figure out what's actually keeping your business stuck, take my 2-minute Unscale Me quiz. The link is down below. And then go create more content with your coaching calls and let me know in the comments how it works for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get more videos like this.